Hi, everybody. Welcome to Dan on Sports. Notre Dame not making the college football playoffs has certainly sent the sports world into a tizzy. And I've got to tell you something. Notre Dame has a point. They have a 10-2 record. You're telling me that the Fighting Irish are not one of the top 12 teams in the nation? You're telling me that James Madison is better than the Fighting Irish? You're telling me that Tulane is better than Notre Dame? And by the way, how come Texas isn't in the field? What's up with that? I mean, Texas had a very good season, too. Texas paid the price, when you think about it, for scheduling a game in September, early September, at Ohio State, their first game, in fact. Scheduling the game at Ohio State and losing a close game. And they paid the price because of that. I'm telling you right now, the college football sports scene, in fact, collegiate sports, Division I, whether you're talking about football or basketball, needs an enema. It really does. There is so much money being thrown around. There's so much stuff taking place that makes no sense that the whole system needs to be changed. Now, look, I'm not taking anything away from Curt Cignetti, who has done an outstanding job at Indiana. But without the NIL, without all this big donor money flowing in, not just to Indiana, but elsewhere, does he turn that program around as quickly as he did? It's a legitimate question. And again, I'm not taking anything away from him. He's done a great job. He's playing within the rules. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is you've got a situation now, for example, take Michigan State, where a family, two people, donated $401 million to Michigan State. To what? Well, they're saying enhance the athletic program, but let's be serious here. To enhance the football program at Michigan State, which was once outstanding, and now they're having their troubles. It's all about donor money now. It's all about the NIL. The whole thing has changed, and it's not just football, it's basketball as well. Notre Dame has a point. Now, Notre Dame is going after ESPN, which carries the ACC, and is saying that ACC and ESPN collaborated to get my playoffs over Notre Dame, because remember, Notre Dame is an independent in football. And you've got the Notre Dame athletic director out there saying that Miami pushed hard, social media, this, that, and the other thing. ESPN was a collaborator in helping Miami to get into the college football playoffs because Miami is a member of the ACC and ESPN owns the ACC network and covers the ACC. So all of this is taking place. And the Notre Dame people are not happy just on that alone. It's nuts. And it shouldn't be this way. And let me tell you, it's leading to big-time trouble, and it could really ruin collegiate sports. This whole thing is upside down. You've seen college basketball where some Division I schools can no longer compete at the Division I level because all of what's happened. And it's a lot of these TV bean counters. All they care about is the money. All they care about is, doing it their way while ruining collegiate sports. Collegiate sports, college football is built on rivalries. And you're telling me that Notre Dame, with a 10-2 record, is not going to be in the college football playoffs because of two losses in September? Now you could say, well, Notre Dame had an easier schedule after those two defeats. They're 10-2. 10-2. You're telling me Notre Dame is not as good as James Madison? And I'm not taking anything away from James Madison or Tulane, but you're telling me that Notre Dame is not as good as those two schools? The whole thing is a mess, and money's being thrown around, and you might say, well, you can go back to the old days, back to the 1950s, when the Oklahoma players would come off the practice field, go into the locker room, and there would be their buckets stuffed with money in the locker room. Yeah, I get it. That wasn't good either. But there's got to be a better way that's what's unfolding here. Now, there are those out there who are saying, and they have a point, that the collegiate world does not like the fact that Notre Dame football is an independent. They don't like the fact that Notre Dame is a brand with its own television contract, with its own this, its own that. It's like the rest of the college football world, and then Notre Dame, which is a cash cow because of its prestige, because of its name, because of the fact that Notre Dame has an independent television contract and making all this money, and the rest of the college football world, the NCAA, doesn't like that. They want Notre Dame football to be in a conference, the way Notre Dame basketball is in a conference. And you can make that argument. But to me, you cannot make the argument that Notre Dame at 10-2 should not be in the field of 12. Notre Dame is one of the top 6 teams in the country. They'd probably come in 6th. It's a mess. It is an absolute mess what is going on in college football and college basketball. I mean, the donor money that is flowing in, the money that is being now paid to these players, the NIL, the television money, money. And so you have this situation where you've got the college football world essentially thumbing its nose at Notre Dame, and Notre Dame turning around and thumbing its nose at the college football world. And that's another thing. What this college football playoff system has done is ruin the other bowl games. The other bowl games are ruined. You've got schools who will participate in the bowl games who will not send their best players because the seniors don't want to ruin the chance they could get injured and hurt themselves as far as being eligible for the NFL draft is concerned. So you've got that situation. You've got other situations where schools aren't even going to bowl games, even though they're bowl eligible. Not just Notre Dame. We know why Notre Dame said no. They're thumbing their nose at the NCAA, and I don't blame them. I don't blame them one bit. But it's not just that. You've got Baylor. Well, we've got a new AD coming in. We've got this. We've got that. You've got some of these other bowl-eligible schools who are changing coaches who are saying, well, we just won't be able to go to these bowl games. And that's just what it is. You're going to get these colleges now that if they don't make the field of 12, they're not going to go to these bowl games anymore. I mean, there's only so many UConns out there who are going to go to the Fenway Bowl, and I guarantee you if UConn ever gets to the level of some of these other schools, they're not going to go to any of these bowl games unless it's the field of 12. You know what this ignoring of Notre Dame has done? I think it has driven home, and I'm telling you, they're furious. People are furious, and you've got an element out there that loves Notre Dame. You've got an element out there that hates Notre Dame, so they love this every minute of it. And then you've got the Notre Dame supporters who are furious, who believe that they've been shortchanged, and they're right to feel that they've been shortchanged. But I'm telling you, if something is not done after this season to straighten this situation out, you're going to see people turned off by what is a great sport, college football, and to a lesser degree, college basketball. This whole thing has got to be changed. It's just not working. No way Notre Dame should have been left out. No way Texas should have been left out. I'm going to say this again. What I said in my commentary from Monday, what they really want is to expand the field, and that will appease the people who are critical of Notre Dame being left out, who are critical of Texas being left out. But beyond that, what this is going to do, if you're going to penalize a team for losing 2 games in September or a game in September, it's going to set up nothing more than a cupcake schedule for some of these others. I mean, if I'm Texas, why do I want to play an out-of-conference Ohio State, defending national champions? Why do I want to play them and lose to them in a close game if it's going to cost me a chance to be in the field of 12? Remember, Texas was number 1 going into that Notre Dame game in September. I'm going into that Ohio State game. Texas was number 1 going into that Ohio State game in September. Remember that. So why are these schools, these top-notch schools, going to penalize themselves? You're going to have a college football schedule in September that isn't even worth playing. I'm going to say this one more time. College football needs an enema. And to a lesser degree, so does the rest of the major college football and basketball field. It's a mess. That's going to do it for Dan on Sports. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. See you later.